All right. So as y'all know, the All-Star festivities are coming up sooner rather than later, about a week or two from now, and there's not gonna be no people in attendance. So I'm gonna say who I think is going to win the dunk contest, 3-point contest, and skills challenge. I can't say who's gonna win the All-Star game itself because KD and LeBron will not be choosing for a while from now. So I'm just gonna go with who I think is gonna win the dunk contest through the 3 participants that we have so far because we are still missing one person. Zion better join because we know he got that. Whew. Zion joins. We all know who's gonna win. The saying it now, but let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with the dunk contest. One of the most controversial dunk contests we had last year. I just hope the judges we have this year know how to pick who should win. So, out of the 3 people we got Anthony Simons, Cassius Stanley, and Obi Toppin. So, I'm going on past dunk contest. We usually go for the people that have power behind their dunks. Look at Zach LaVine. I would say Aaron Gordon, but we got to go Derrick Jones Jr., who had a great dunk contest last year. But I'm gonna have to go with Obi Toppin with this one. He's a fan favorite. He's a box office attraction for the Knicks. I think that with his power and with his height and vertical, I think he could throw down some mean dunks. But don't knock the other two. They got bunnies too. Cassius Stanley. If you seen him in college, you know he got bunnies. And then Anthony Simons, bro. I've never he might be the dark horse. Anthony Simon might be the dark horse, but there's still we still got another competitor that we don't know who's gonna be. We still got Hamid Diablo who didn't participate in the dunk contest last year to defend his crown, which was shocking. We could still maybe get like John Morant. We got a lot of people that we don't know. Who do you think is gonna be the fourth person to participate in the dunk contest? Leave it down in the comment section below. But let's keep it going. We go to the 3-point contest. Now, this sort of had me bent because Buddy Hield won last time and he showed them why he won, and he's not in the 3-point contest. And I'm not mad at the people we got. We got some shooters. We got D Book. We got Jaylen Brown. We got Chef Curry. We know that. We got Zach LaVine. We got Donovan Mitchell. We got Jason Tatum. So where's Damian Lillard? I don't see him. We're missing so many good 3-point shooters. I'm like sort of baffled. Like, where's who is it? Who is it? Bradley Beal. I don't see him up here, and he's been having a good season. I don't see a lot of shooters on this list that are mainly shooters like Joe Harris. That's the only thing he does for the team is shoot. Davis Bertans, who was top 3 last year, don't see him on the list. But like I said, if I'm going off the list, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna choose 2 because we don't know who we're gonna get on a given night. If we get the Curry that we all know and love, he might not miss a shot, and he might just go off, and no one's gonna be able to keep up with him. But that's the same thing with D Book. Remember last year, man had 26. Buddy Hield was just able to drop 27 and call it a day. Kept it moving. Like I said again, but if I'm going for a dark horse, I'm gonna say Zach LaVine. He didn't miss a single shot in those corners last year. If you looked at it, like he didn't miss in them corners. So I expect him not to miss in those again. But I feel like he's gonna be more consistent on the wings. I feel like that's where he messed up. The wing and the top of the key was where he slew down. Now probably because of the deep ball. That Mountain Dew shot is hard to make. I'm gonna say that now. Like, them shots is deep. Like I looked it up. That is a deep shot. That 3-point itself is deep. The top of the key is deep. Think about like 4 or 5 steps. That is Damian Lillard range, which I'm still mad I don't see him on the list. Like I said again. Now the skills challenge. We know about last year's skills challenge where all the guards were missing their passes. Whew, it was not pretty. But we got Luka, Robert Covington, Sabonis, Vucevic, CP3, and Randall. How did these 5 or 6, I think. I'm gonna have to go with. If I'm going with talent, I'm gonna go Luka. But then if I'm gonna choose a guard and a center. If I'm going guard, I'm gonna choose CP3 because he's the best passer. He doesn't miss layups like that, and he has a nice stroke. I'm gonna say it like it is. He got that stroke, chick bang, chicka chicka bang bang. And then if we're going in the center, I'm gonna go Sabonis again. Sabonis or Randall, but I'm gonna go Sabonis because he's a better passer. He's a way better pick and roll shooter, pick and pop. So I got him over Randall. But if Randall, like I said, Randall might be a dark horse. Like I said again, Randall's been breaking out. I gotta give him props to the man. I gotta give props to the Knicks in general. I did not think they were gonna be the fourth seed this year. Like this has really got me all bent out. Like they're doing better than my Thunder. Think about that. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't see SGA in the skills challenge. I understand him not making an All-Star game because, like, man, there was a lot of guards going off this season in the West, but I could at least see him in the skills challenge. And then, but how do y'all feel about KD saying he's not going to participate in the All-Star game? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? For me, I think that's a good thing. He knows that him playing in the All-Star game is not worth it, really. It's just like, if I'm playing this, what is the point of me playing this? I can pick the team. My team can go out there. This is just for fun. I don't need to do this. I have one thing to do and one thing only. Me and Kyrie made this team and got James Harden for a reason. We're trying to win this season. Anthony Davis is injured. This is our time to shine. And he's showing it. Like, he literally said, I'm not playing. And it makes sense. You want to win, you got to make the decisions. He's already made it. But the Nets already look fire without him. Like, come on now. This is not fair. This is a Warriors all over again. KD literally said, I'm going to leave, go with Kyrie. We're going to get James Harden. We're going to make another super team. And that's basically what they just did. And without KD on the floor, they're still one of the best teams on the court most of the time. And then when he's on the court, they're just like, what's a big three in superhero terms? Like, no, they're like Mortal Kombat. It's like Scorpion. They got Scorpion. They got Sub-Zero. And then they got Raiden. Beautiful. And then Raiden's KD. Scorpion is Kyrie. And then Sub-Zero is James Harden. Like, this is the perfect team. Like, I do not see them losing. The only way I see them losing is if the Clippers in which Kawhi and Paul George get their stuff together, they could win. They can win. I can say that they can win if Kawhi and Paul PG-13, who when it's on, he is rated R. I don't care. Which he was in the beginning of the season. And everybody was saying, I feel like this. PG in the playoffs is going to be different this year. I'm telling you now. PG is done taking this narrative that he's not good in the playoffs. Same thing with James Harden. He's going to do the same thing. Like I'm saying again, these two players have been criticized so hard for what they did one season, which I understand. Because with the Thunder, he was injured. He had a messed up shoulder. Okay, I let that slide. Last season, in the bubble, he played bad, but you got to think about it. The season was cut short. Before that, they were playing their best basketball. Same thing with Russell Westbrook, playing their best basketball. I'll name 3 people that were playing their best basketball before the end of the season because of COVID, because of Rudy Gobert. Russell Westbrook, PG, and James Harden. All 3 of them. And then they all just straight. When they came back, they weren't feeling it. Because you're in a bubble. You don't get the same. You can't practice the same way. Like I said again, this is the time for Paul George to show I'm still that man. I'm that man. The same man from the Pacers when before I got injured could drop 30 on your head and do some crazy stuff still. 360 windmill and all. Like I said, bro, PG is that man. We're gonna see it this year. But for the Lakers, I don't know how I feel about them. Because the Lakers, it's weird. They're in a weird spot. They're one of those teams where when healthy, they're the best team in the league. But when one piece is gone, they're like they're mediocrity. They're like the Raptors without Anthony Davis. But with them, they're the best team in the league. they're contenders without him, but with him, their chances of winning go to from like 6. They are off and not flowing. They are off and not flowing, bro. Like, I mean it. It's bad when they're off. Really bad. But like I said, certain teams are gonna do good. And I'm gonna say again, I'm gonna tell y'all at the end of the season, the number 1 seed in the East, I think it's still gonna be the Sixers. The Sixers have an MVP in Joel Embiid, who's dropping 30 and 10, looking like he Hakeem Olajuwon, the dream. Like, I've never, like, no one's seen this since Hakeem and maybe Shaq, but none of the passing and stuff like Shaq in that post move. Like, Shaq was brute force, drop step, dunk on you. Like, you had to double with Joel Embiid. He shows finesse. He has that finesse, and then you got Ben Simmons looking like a defensive player of the year candidate. Man, like, hey, I'm gonna say it like that. But then we got the Heat, who have been, how do I say this? Middle of the pack in the mediocre East. How do I say this? The East is one of those, like, it's always been one of those, you don't gotta do much to make it, but the top 3 teams are usually the best teams in the East. Look at it now. Like, come on now. So, who do I got? I'll tell y'all this. Who I got first seed? I'll tell you my top 8 seeding by the end of the season. If KD and them are healthy, I'll say this: if all teams are healthy, first I'm going Nets. Second, I'm going 76ers. Third, I'm going Bucks, because you can't knock Giannis. He's a 2-time MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year, and he's playing good basketball again. It's just that his team is just going through COVID issues. Like I said, typical team issues this year with the COVID season. You know, it's hard. It's hard. And remember, there is a 7 to 8, 10th seed playing tournament. So if you make it to the 10th seed, you can get into the playing tournament and then maybe make the playoffs still. So you're still in luck. 10th, you're in luck. So I see those 3 being in the top. Now, 4th seed. Now, I got the Celtics. Now, I know what you're thinking, but the Celtics have been playing like straight doo-doo water. And they've been playing like straight doo-doo water. Like, I could see that happening. They've been playing like straight doo-doo water. But I don't see them staying like this forever. Like I said, like everybody's been saying, they're in a slump. Everybody goes through slumps. Look at the Lakers of last year. And then look at the Jazz. 10 straight games winning, and then wherever they are in the playoffs, when Jamal Murray dropped 50, coming back 3-1. Like I said again, it happens. But I don't think it's going to last. They got 2 superstars going on All-Star in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Gordon Hayward's on the Hornets. He's dropping buckets too. But yeah, and then you got Kemba Walker, who's played good finally. I'm not going to say great, not to the All-Star level. He played good. He's going to get back to his level of play where they need him to. And then, like I said, they're a good team when healthy. So I can see them being 4th seed. Now, 5th seed. I got the Heat. Like I said, they've been injured for most of the season. You just gotta say like that. Injuries have really derailed their season. Injuries and COVID issues. But you can't not. A team that made it to the finals and dropped 2 games on a Lakers team without Dennis Schroeder. You can't knock them. They did good. You gotta give them that. And they're the same team basically. It has been injured and stuff like that. So I'm going to say that now they're going to make it to the 5th seed. Now, 6th seed. This is the seed that automatically makes it. This is one of those seeds where if you make it to the 6th seed, you're facing the 3rd seed. And the 3rd seed, the Bucks. And the Bucks, that's a tough team to beat. So who I got? 6th seed, I think the Knicks could still make the playoffs. Like, the East has really been bad this year. Like, bad. Like the Wizards, they've been coming alive of late, but like the Wizards themselves, like they're gonna be like a 9th to 8th seed playing tournament team. But 6th seed, I got the Knicks making it because Julius Randle's been playing out of his mind lately. We got Emmanuel Quickly, who's looking like a Rookie of the Year candidate. behind LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Halliburton. And then you got RJ Barrett dropping buckets. The Knicks team is looking real good. And then they got a veteran Derrick Rose to mentor Emmanuel quickly, which is even better. Like, this team can go places. So now, 7th seed. This is a tough spot. We got the Hornets surging right now. We got a lot of teams that could make it now. But if I'm going a team that I think can make it, I'm going to go Hornets, 7th seed. 7th seed Hornets is not a bad spot. Remember, this is the mediocre what? East. If in the West, if you're mediocre, you're not making the playoffs. Like, look at it now. Like, most of the teams that are in the playoffs are like playoff contenders. If they were in the East, like, they could make it out. Most of the teams in the West that are top 5 or 6 in the seeding could make it out the West, East in that side. And make it out the West, too, if the Lakers and the Clippers weren't this dominant. Like I said again. So, that's my 7th. Now, 8th seed. A lot of you are going to hate me for saying this because I am a Russell Westbrook fan, but Russ has not been playing that good, and I know it because he's been injured. But when he is not injured and he's playing efficient, which he has been for the last 4 or 5 games, he's an all-star. He really is. I understand why he wasn't an all-star too, because he has been having really bad games and really good games. He's been streaky. But when the Wizards are on, they are on. You can see it. Like, they beating really good teams. They beating the Nets. Hey, TLC, you missed the layup. It happens, bro. So, like, I'm gonna say that then they're gonna make the playoffs. They will make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. They don't, I'm gonna be really upset with them. And then I got the Magic at the 9th seed. Now, the Magic would have been higher if Markelle Fultz didn't get injured, which was really devastating. Torn ACL. He was coming back. He was looking like he was about to shed the bust label. Then gets injured. Sucks. That really does sucks. But like I said, he'll come back. Now, 9th and 10th seed is all up to debate. That's really debatable. But now we go to the West. Now, number 1 seed, when Lakers are healthy, which Anthony Davis should be coming back in like a month or 2, I'm going to choose Lakers number 1 seed, and I'm going to have the Jazz drop about a seed or 2. Because they had the same surge last year, and then, like, they got cold. They went a little cold at the end. So I'm going to put them second, third seed. And then Clippers are going to be second and third seed because they are one of the best regular season teams in the West. 4th seed. This is tough because there's a lot of good teams. I could say the Suns, but the Suns haven't been playing well. Like I said again, the Suns can't, if you're not going to play well, you're not going to make the playoffs. Like I said again, the Suns have not been playing that well, but when they are on, they are on. Like CP3 and Devin Booker. Like I said again, another great backcourt duo. I'm going to put them in there, but like 5th or 6th or 7th. Now, 5th seed, like, that's a hard spot because, like, everybody in the West, like, every team in the West is injured from there down. Like, badly. Like, CJ McCollum hasn't came back yet. Like, the Spurs are, like, still, like, trying to hang on for dear life. Like, they're about to go into a rebuild. Like, the Rockets look like they were going to be a team to win, to, like, still do something. They cut DeMarcus Cousins. Victor Oladipo just comes back. Oh, I forgot about the Pacers on the East. But, like, they're still injured. When Karis LeVert comes back and he shows that he still has a scoring mentality, then I'll put them 6th and 5th seed. But until then, they're like 7th, 8th seed right now, which isn't bad for them because they don't really have a main star. It's like the Domantas Sabonis only made the All-Star game because KD wasn't going to play. He still had a good season, though. Like I said, still a great season. But, yeah. There's so many teams like the Mavericks, Kristaps Porzingis. The Unicorn hasn't played his greatest basketball, but Luka Doncic is looking like an MVP. You got the Nuggets, who came back 2 3-1 leads in one playoffs, in the single playoffs. I was baffled at that. And Nikola Jokic, if he was higher up in the standings, could be an MVP. He's looking like Russell Westbrook at the center. And then we got Jamal Murray playing like a 20-point per game scorer that he needs. He just needs that scoring option. You got Michael Porter Jr. and RJ Hampton. But like I said, the Nuggets still got time to grow. They still got time to age, to get better. Like Michael Porter Jr. could be a star. And they still got Bobo. I forgot. Bobo. Show what he could do in the bubble. Like I said, this team it's going to be like the Spurs. They're going to be like the Spurs in 3 years. 2-3 years maximum. And if anything, like Paul Pierce said today, they could trade Jamal Murray 2-3 years down the line if they need an actual point guard, which they shouldn't because they still have RJ Hampton, who could play point guard, and then Jamal Murray could be that scorer that y'all need. They need. Like I said again, there's a lot of things they could do with that lineup. And they still got Will Barton, who's a great defender, 3-and-D player. Like I said, that team is really good. And then they still got Monte Morris, he got that 3-point laser. Like I said again, the Nuggets from top to bottom is a really good team. Just had a cold start because of the season. Like I said, they only had like 2-3 months 2 months to prepare for the season. Remember, they literally after they faced the Lakers, they had like a month, and then right after that, another month. In the season, they said the season was starting. Like LeBron himself was back, but like I said, most teams were like not even in the loop for the longest. Like I said, it happens. And then we got the Pelicans, who I feel like are underachieving. Just like the Kings are underachieving. Those are the two teams I feel like that we said last year was going to the Pelicans we said we're gonna get better. We didn't say they were gonna be like a playoff team. No. We really all thought the Kings, with Marvin Bagley coming back healthy, with De'Aaron Fox looking like he was ready to take that next step, with Buddy Hield looking like a laser, with Tyrese Halliburton, we all thought they were going to like make that next step and be a playoff team. Not a contender, just a playoff team. Which is not bad still. They still got picks and stuff, so they can still get some draft cap. They can still use that to trade for players and everything, or draft more players and then fill out the roster some more, get the bench going, all that. But we have not seen their team go take a step. The Pelicans have taken a step up. Zion's looking like he's going to be an MVP 2-3 years down the line. We got Brandon Ingram looking like he's going to be that perfect scorer that he needs to let him get his one-on-ones with the big man, because he's too strong that he can just bully ball his way in. You got Steven Adams who can crash the boards and is a good rim protector. One of the strongest men in the league. Like I said again, and then you got Lonzo Ball. And a lot of people saying he's underachieving this season. And I'm going to say this. Lonzo is actually doing his role. He's doing his job, which is to shoot threes when he's open, create shots for the team, and when he needs to, go get a layup, or try to get to the line. Which, like I said, wasn't what he was supposed to be at the number 2 pick. But like I said again, Lonzo's jumper was not there in the beginning. If he had a consistent jumper, because he got some handles, we know that. He got handles. He got the vision. He got the athleticism. Like I said, if he had a consistent jumper, he'd be perfect. That's hard to do. Look at LaMelo. Like LaMelo is Lonzo with a better shot. That's basically all you can say. That's all I can say. Like LaMelo and Lonzo are such same players. Just one has a better shot while the other has better defense. And that's why I say Lonzo would be a better player for a championship team, which the Pelicans are trying to do, than LaMelo, who has to be that number 1 guy. Like, look at it. Him and Gordon Hayward are like the 2 big guys there, with Terry Rozier coming off the bench, and then Devontae Graham, who had a breakout season last year, is nowhere to be found. Like I said again, it happens. Lonzo, he's maturing his role. He's taking the role that he was supposed to take when he came to that team. I'm the point guard. I set up plays. I shoot when necessary, when I'm open. And if necessary, I throw the lob to Zion when he calls for it. This is Zion's team. This is Zion and Brandon Ingram's team. He is that fourth option. Fourth. actually, because they still got Nikhil Walker, who's progressing. They still got Jackson Hayes, who's progressing. Because I feel like they're not going to re-sign Steven Adams. They're not going to This is like Steven Adams' like last contract with them. And then after that, he's mentoring Jackson Hayes to become that next big center, which is smart, which is a smart thing to do for them. They need that rebounding threats to get bored, pick and roll when Zion's not in the game. They need that for Lonzo, because that's going to open up his game. I say this, though. If Lonzo can develop a mid-range jumper like CP3, that would be perfect, because then he'd be way more effective, because then they're not going to want to go under the screen as much. They're going to have to go over to try to contest the jumper, because you go under, Lonzo will blow by because he got some speed on him. But now we go to the Grizzlies. Injury. That's all I can say. Injury and health. That's all I can say, because they're on the way to winning. Give them 2-3 years. They going to be a championship team. Because by then the Lakers dynasty, because they're going to keep going to the playoffs for the next 3 years. Fine, for like 2-3 years until LeBron retires. And like Bronny maybe gets in the league. But when that happens, when LeBron retires, AD maybe leaves the Lakers. If he stays, he stays. He's just gonna be there's gonna be like another Pelicans team to him. The Grizzlies are gonna be the next big team to jump forward. Just like the Nuggets, all those teams. That's going to happen. And that's because Ja Morant is a superstar. He is a superstar in the making. He is basically Russell Westbrook's protege with way more efficient. Way more efficient. I know what you're thinking, why is that? He's more like a John Wall. And I said no. I say no to that because John Wall, he does have that John Wall-esque, but John Wall's explosiveness is not the same as Russell Westbrook. There's only one other guard that you could say is maybe just as explosive as Russell Westbrook, and that's maybe D Rose. And like I said, that's if and if. Like I said again though, Ja Morant is there. And they still got Jaren Jackson Jr., who's been flying under the radar. They still got Brandon Clark, who they stole in the draft. I literally wanted the Thunder to pick him up. And no one listened to me. Nobody listened to me at school when I said Brandon Clark is going to be a steal. Nobody listened when I said that. He was the steal of the draft. No cap. And then they got Grayson Allen, who's a shooter. And he's like that. He's like Draymond Green. He gets in people's heads. They don't like him. And then the Warriors, they're just the Warriors. Injured. Just waiting for Clay to come back next season. Getting ready so they can relive the dynasty of 2015-16 and 16-17. Being that three-point team with defense that nobody can stop. And they still got James Wiseman, who's been flying under the radar, really. Like, he'll have good every now and then. But, like, nobody's really looking at him because Anthony Edwards, that dunk. And then LaMelo Ball, looking like Michael Jordan actually picked somebody that was good for once in the first round. Like I said again, hey, and then I don't know why, but then the one thing I don't get is why the Bulls chose Patrick Williams at 4. I still don't get that to this day. Like, there were so many players they could have got in the draft. They did need a forward. They could have went small forward and got Tyrese Halliburton, and they moved Zach to the 3. But like I said, Zach is better at the 2 because of his speed and athleticism and his height. Kobe White is still a good point guard, so I'm not mad at it. Not mad. And now we got the Thunder, who is rebuilding and not rebuilding at the same time because they're winning games against teams that are better than them. I'm just trying to figure out, because I'm a Thunder fan, because we got all these picks. We're just hoping for teams to lose now. That's really all we're doing because the Rockets aren't playing that good. So we got like 2 top 10 picks because we're not playing that good. So, and then like people are saying Jalen Green's about to drop. I'm not even mad at that. If Jalen Green or Jonathan Kuminga drops to us, we better pick him up. We better snatch him up like a kid looking for candy from a white van. Like, come on now, we better catch that while we can. But it be like that. Mm, mm. And then we got the Pistons. I ain't got nothing to say on them besides Jermaine Grant is carrying them, looking like an all-star, looking like a first option, maybe second option on a championship team. Same thing with Christian Wood, looking like a first option when he's healthy. Most improved player of the year could go to both of them. But never know. Yeah, so now we're going to switch over to football. Oof. This is going to get a lot of people heated. We all know who's going to be number one. But who do y'all think the Jets are going to take? And now I'm going to say this. A lot of people are saying they're going to take a quarterback. And I wouldn't be mad at that. But you can't knock Sam Darnold for his lack of great play. Because when you don't got good weapons, you're not going to play great. And when your offensive line isn't been playing great, and you're not going to play great. So it's a give and take. But like I said again, people are saying Sam Darnold is not that good. But he, like I said, put him in, give him an offensive line, give him like maybe a number one, maybe give him two good receivers, not great, good receivers. And I think he would play good. Like I said again, that's hard to do when you're a Jets team that doesn't get a lot of great free agents. Like I said again. But I'm not going to be mad if they did choose a quarterback there. But if they chose a wide receiver there, I wouldn't be mad either. Because then they know that Sam Darnold isn't the problem. The team itself is the problem. But if they go quarterback, they're like, we need to get rid of Sam Darnold. We can maybe trade him, get better off, maybe get an offensive lineman and some picks. Like I said, the Jets are in a decent situation because they could just trade the pick to the Texans and get Deshaun Watson, who thrives who's been good without a linemen and wide receivers. Look at last season, like I said. So either or, it works for them. Now 3, the Dolphins. As of right now, I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to get traded, so they're going to keep the pick. So a lot of people say that they're going to choose Jamar Chase, and I don't think so. Even though Jamar Chase is one of the best top 3 receivers in this draft class with Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith, I think that they would either choose Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith because Tua has played with them. So you're choosing somebody that Tua and Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith already have chemistry with. They know how each other play. They know what works and what doesn't work with each other. So that's not a bad idea. Jamar Chase is probably one of the best wide receivers in the draft class, but you got to think about chemistry. It's not just about talent. It's about how it's going to fit with the team. Because they already got Devontae Parker, who's arguably could have been a number 1 receiver for them. They just need a number two. And if they get a number 1, Devontae's going to become the number 2. And that'll be even better because he'll have a 1,000-yard season. He's going to become a Juju while Devontae Smith becomes or Jalen Waddle becomes that Antonio Brown. Perfect. Like I said again, the Dolphins are set up for success now. Now 4. We all know the Giants are about to take on offensive linemen. They're not going to switch up on Danny Dimes. We know that. They're either going to take an offensive lineman. Wait, 4 is not the Giants. I'm stupid. Let me check because I'm dumb for saying that. I'll be right back. I got to look at who has the 4th pick. I've not been checking the NBA, the NFL, my NFL draft, bro. Draft order. Like, I've not been checking. I've been really off. The Falcons got the 4th pick. Oh, I wasn't expecting that because I'm usually seeing the Falcons being good. But the Falcons, do they take a quarterback and trade Matt Ryan or keep Matt Ryan and then use him to mentor? Like I said, if the Falcons take a quarterback, I would go myself. If I'm going for someone that could fit the scheme, or I'm going upside. If I'm going upside, I'm going Trey Lance. He has a better upside, but if I'm going someone that right after one season I could plug in, he could get it. Justin Fields. He's shown it 3 straight seasons. But like I said, not a lot of people are going to say that. But if they don't do that and they go defense, they're going to take the best cornerback in the draft, which is whoever y'all is arguable. It's really arguable. Caleb Farley or Patrick Surtain. It's arguable. Now, Cincinnati Bengals are definitely going to choose offensive lineman. They already got the quarterback of the future. They got wide receivers. They just got to start bolstering that line so they can keep Joe Burrow safe. Now, the Eagles. Are they going to draft a quarterback? Ooh, now, this is interesting because the Eagles could draft a quarterback. They could draft a quarterback and see who's better, Jalen Hurts or the quarterback they draft, which probably would be Trey Lance, which is they're really sort of the same project, just one has a stronger arm. One's a better runner, one has a stronger arm. But if I'm the Eagles, I wouldn't do that. I would sign a quarterback and just not start Jalen Hurts right away. And I know what you're thinking. Why would you not start him right away? I would choose offensive. I wouldn't even choose offensive lineman because your offensive line is really good. I would actually, you might as. I don't really know because the Eagles are in a weird state because they got Jalen Hurts, who's actually not a bad quarterback, but then he's not a great one. And then if you choose Trey Lance, now you're gonna have quarterback competition between Jalen Hurts and Trey Lance. And then like I say again, it's weird. I would say they just sign a quarterback and train him up and sign a quarterback and have him mentor Jalen Hurts and mold him into a player. Like Cam Newton would be a perfect one because they have really similar play styles. Him and Cam Newton's play style are really the same in a lot of ways. They're both really good runners. They both can throw the ball pretty good. Not at the level of most quarterbacks. He's a little below average. He's average. He's like in the middle. He's in the middle of average and above average. Like I say again, this is a weird situation for them. Or they could just draft a wide receiver and call it a day, which wouldn't be bad either. There's a lot of things they could do there. The Eagles got a lot of choices to make. Now the Lions, I don't know. I don't really know. Because if Trey Lance gets picked by the Eagles, then the Lions are going to choose a wide receiver. Or they're gonna reach on defense like they always do. But if they choose a wide receiver, they're probably going to choose either Jalen Waddle or Jamar Chase. That takes one of them off the board. Now, the Panthers are probably going to choose a quarterback. They're either going to choose a quarterback or try to bolster that offensive line. Either or, which isn't bad either. So, those are the top 8 picks so far. I'll do some more. I got to scout. I got to look at the players so far. I got to look at the stats. I got to look at what the team needs and everything. Because I was baffled to see the Falcons where they were at. Because the Falcons, when you look at them on offense, you're like, this team on offense looks good. But then you see that defense, you're like, yeah. Dan Quinn fucked them over. Like I said again, this is one of those situations where the Falcons got one of the best offenses with Caleb Ridley, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, MVP. They got Todd Gurley. But then you look at that defense, you're like, really, nigga? You really had to do that to them? And they drafted a cornerback in the first round last year. So they could do another cornerback and have that cornerback duo that they really do need. They need to have they need to get that secondary now. The whole defense needs to be switched. The defense is just garbage, bro. I really feel bad for the Falcons. After that collapse in the Super Bowl, they have been really bad. And that's the same thing with the Seahawks, bro. They've been really bad in the postseason. They'll play decent throughout the regular season. Postseason comes and they'll play down to teams that they should have beat. And then I'm not gonna say that for the Rams. The Rams just had a bad quarterback in Jared Goff because he wasn't great. He wasn't good. He was in the middle. And then now they got Matt Ryan, who Matt Stafford, who is, I'm a Lions fan, so I'm thinking what I should say. I'm not going to say, I'm going to say this. He's underrated, but he's a top 15 quarterback in the league. Not top 10, top 15. Because I can name 15 quarterbacks that are better than him, and then like 4 more that are borderline better than him. So yeah, he's top 15, and he's really durable. He plays through more injuries that most people don't know about. He literally played through a messed up. He played the last down of a game, threw the ball, and scored. Like I said again, that takes guts, and that's what they need over there in LA. They need someone that can sling it, take risk. They need someone that's gutsy. They need someone that can stay on the field and know how to read coverages and use weapons, because they got some really good weapons. They got Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, really speedy threats. Tyler Higbee. Like I said, this is not a bad team. And they got an actual run game. And then Matthew Stafford actually has a defense again. The last time he had a defense with the Lions was when they had like Levy, Sue, Anagas, Darius Slay. Yeah. Like I said, I could see Matthew Stafford going for 4,200 yards and like 30 touchdowns and like 8 interceptions. Maybe 10. 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, which isn't a bad season for him. And maybe getting a Pro Bowl. Not an all-pro selection, a Pro Bowl. Because, they still got Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, like I said again. And then this Cardinals just signed J.J. Watt. That division is stacked. Top to bottom. They got the 49ers who could still get a quarterback. And they can still get a quarterback. That's all they need. Their defense is going to be straight again. Their offense is great, still good. They're good. And then they got the Cardinals who just signed J.J. Watt, both making their defense even better with Chandler Jones and him. So again, and then you got a good offense still. So you got the Rams, who arguably the best defense last year, and then good offense. So, and they all basically all of them really have good coaching. So this is just all to who plays better now. Hey. But I'm gonna end the stream there. And to all the people watching, share the stream to people next time. The more people we see in the stream, the better. And we'll talk. Tell me what y'all want to talk about. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Snapchat. I'll put them in the description. And peace.